Hello, it's Wednesday and welcome back to another edition to the SPFL Through the Lens. And joining myself and the two Yemeen's Chuckle Brothers is this man, and it's Shaun Fagan, ex-Motherwell player. And how you doing, Shaun?
Yeah, good guys. How are you?
Thanks very much for coming on.
My pleasure.
So, what you've been doing with yourself?
Just not that long finished work, you know. It's a hard shift in the Ackies a day on the finance and commercial side, but all joking aside, I was we've worked with the Ackies boys the academy, so we had I do the finances, the finance commercial side. And there's mainly about 5 years that run the whole stadium kind of thing. Crabby will tell you, Mr. Hamilton himself, Scott Struthers, who I think you've had on the show.
We did a couple of weeks ago.
We look after the commercial side and the business kind of side there. So I work there 9 to 5 and then I help out with the academy at night.
You do the 14s, Shaun, don't you?
14s, this year, 14s, Crabby,
Yeah, good.
And how's that getting on?
Well, we've just started back with all this COVID, so speaking to Big George Cairns, he's talking about the games which should start back on the first weekend of May.
I'll tell you in 2 minutes when they start back. I got an email today.
First weekend of May.
Carry on, Peter.
So, how long have you been doing it, the Ackies?
Academy wise, I've been there for maybe about 5 years now, 5-6 years. But work wise, it's probably maybe 8-9 years now.
Is Hammy still there, Faggy?
No, Hammy's left. Hammy's for his own self-stance, he's left and went on to his own. He's went back to the carpets, Grammy. He's starting doing the carpets again.
He texts me today and says to me, he absolutely gate to you tight, mate.
he was actually in the day and he never even mentioned nothing, but to be fair to him, he sneaked away today, so that's it was obviously sun up there.
Shaun,
go on,
sorry, Shaun, the first game's the 6th of June, so you may as well no turn up for it, mate.
Remember, Jason, we're talking about elite clubs here.
Well, you're playing Morton, mate, so you're pumped.
He's just shot you.
Get in there, come on! His first game's against us, Crammy. First game's against us.
Brilliant.
Right, well, I looked through your career and it's pretty difficult trying to get clips of you.
I'm usually sitting on the bench, mate.
Aye, well, that was a clip that I got. Was you sitting on the bench?
His nickname's the judge. You know, because he's never off the bench. So you sir.
I'll get me more skills from arse than you, Tommy.
So obviously you were involved with a big game.
This is the bit you try and find all the goals. There was, wasn't there?
Taking 4.
Nah, there was 5 goals. Faggy, yourself injustice there. There's 5 goals. I've got you 5 league goals, mate. I can name them for you. I've done my homework,
right,
son. So I've got you 5 career goals, mate. I got you 3 with Motherwell, 1 with Stirling.
Stirling?
Yeah. Got you done 1 with Stirling, mate. They've got you.
Yeah.
Oh, I could
give 1 with Clyde.
1 with Clyde. I've got the penalty with Clyde.
Yeah, they've gave you 1 with Stirling against East Fife.
Oh, can't remember that one.
5.
Well,
so yeah,
see, Jason
Stenny as well.
Jason told me.
I scored at Stenny on loan. I was at Stenny. I scored 2 on loan in there. Well done, Jace.
That was you doing a bit of digging. Because on Wikipedia.
We can get to that one later on, Jason, about the Stenny with wee Thames. We David Templeton can tell you a story or two about that one.
Right.
We'll get back to that one later.
Well, we got this clip with you coming off the bench in the famous Celtic game at Fir Park, 2005, Helicopter Sunday. And then Jason told me, he's a great lad, great player, used to come off the bench, and take a player out within seconds? And I thought, surely no. But here we go.
Jim Hammond's goal made a long bursting run, pulled the ball back. Shaun Fagan, he's not short of energy. He'll be putting himself about, making himself a nuisance.
Well, he started
Making himself a nuisance,
Fagan, so he'll be very keen to make his impression. He also scored in a
first touch of the ball. Here we go.
Victory
Have some of that.
2 years ago. One here.
That's the baby I know.
So your career at Motherwell, obviously, was it 70 odd appearances?
I think it was about 84.
84. Yeah.
And you obviously you had a great time down there.
At the start it was brilliant. Going all the way back to the youth setup, and you could go back away to the Foyle Cup when you were a kid, going over there. And I was there 2 years. I was lucky to be there for 2 years at the Foyle Cup. We had some good players. Faddy played in that year. Kevin McDonald, Big Trigger, David Clark,
Steve Pearson as well, wasn't he?
No, Piero wasn't there.
Was he not?
He was late. He was a late developer. He played with school. He played with his school at under 18, and then that's how he gets seen. And then he came in and all. And to be fair to Big Piero, he kicked on. He was in the first team inside 6-7 months. But going back to when you started, you had your Foyle Cup trips.
Yeah.
And then you go into your YTS. And I listened to the podcast last week, like Pizzo, and YTS times were the best times of my life. When you're there, you've not got a care in the world, you're just there to play. I mean, one of the times Billy Davis was the manager at the time, but he left inside a couple of months of me being there. And Eric Black, Terry Butcher, George Cairns, George Adams, and Chris McCarthy came for Celtic. But previous to that, before I went to YTS, Celtic tried to sign me up and go in there, and I had a long conversation with my family, and they said, well, do you actually think you're good enough to go and play for Celtic? After a few years, I was like, well, if I'm good enough, then they'll come calling for me. Mm-hmm. And obviously, I was shite, so they didn't come calling for me. But when Eric came, Eric was the under-18s manager at Celtic, and assisted with Chris McCart, and George Adams was the head of youth. But Eric and Terry done the agency thing as well. And when they came in, there's a funny story here. I'll get to it. When they came in, it was one of the first days, and the four of them are playing heady tennis against each other, and I have to be the referee. So I'm sitting there, and I'm 15-year-old, and I'm watching the game, and I'm refereeing, balls out, balls in, whatever. Then it was the final game, and I gave it to Big Butcher and Chris McCart. They won the game. I've never seen Eric Black lose it as much as that day. Eric lost it. I shit myself. I'm like, oh my God, what have I done here? 15-year-old boy, Eric shouting at me. It's never been out. That ball was never out. I'm like, George Adams is shouting at me. I'm like, George never swore. Him and Derek, the Christians, they don't swear. But George, you can see the face going red. I'm like, but the ball was actually out. And they're like, no, it wasn't. And stormed away. There were still about 3 points left in the game. And they just stormed away. And he says, I want to see you in my office. And I'm like, oh, fuck, shake myself. I'm like, manager's just came in. I'm like, so George came in, he's like, Shaun, cup of tea, 4 cups of tea, biscuits, you better get it sorted. The gaffer's going off, he's not with you. And I'm like, oh no, here we go. Great first impression. So I'm walking in, I'm shaking with the tray, and I'm like walking in with it, put it down, sat down. There was George, there was Chris, and there was Eric, Big Butcher wasn't there. We sat down, Eric's walked in, he's like, he says, see you. I'm like, gaffer, the ball was in. I swear to God the ball was in. He's like, no, it wasn't. I'm like, right, okay. And then he ends up talking and says, but I'm not even going to talk about that. We had to leave Celtic so we could come and train you. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. I was shaking myself and walking, taking the piss out of me, man.
Brilliant.
So,
Brilliant.
we Motherwell, who would you say was the sort of best player you played with?
It's got to be Faddy. Faddy for many reasons. One, obviously the club had went through the bad stage of administration. Before that, you had Robbie Martinez, you had Scott Leach was there, who was a big influence in my career. But when we went in administration, you had your rear guard, Derek Adams, you had Scott Leach, you had Patrick Corrigan. That was then filled up with youth players.
Who's got a bit of feedback here?
Who's got a bit of feedback here? Is that you, Jason?
Yeah. Sorry, Shaun.
No, it's fine. Then you had filled up with youth players. And anytime you were in trouble, you just give the boy Faddy. Faddy would take the ball away for 10-15 minutes himself. It was like, just give Faddy the ball. He would go away, he would work his magic, and 9 times out of 10 he would get an end product and get a goal or get an assist. So for me, hands down at Motherwell, Faddy was probably one of the best players I played with.
He was something else, and he's an absolute legend, and he went on and conquered the Premier League. So, MD, for me, that you call these people legends and all that, but people that can listen. If you made it as a footballer, like yourself and myself, we've done well. But people that can go on and do in the Premier League, Faggy, for me, especially for years and years, 8, 9 years as a top pro, that's what you call a legend.
Obviously, you've had some great players coming through the ranks at Motherwell. I mean, during my time, you had like David Cooper and guys like that. Even Paul Lambert. I mean, some great players playing for Motherwell. But who would be the best player you played against? Surely anybody in the Rangers team.
To be fair, well, hold on a minute. Get yourself there. To be fair, you've gone back when I played. It was against the likes of Lennon. You got who Lennon was different class in his own remit. He take the ball. He just pass the ball 5 yards, but he never give it away. And every time you get rid of him, you're just smashing them because the ball wasn't there. So you're like, I'm just taking me out. You had Etrov, you had Larson, you had Sutton, you had all these top players for Celtic. Then you talk about Frank de Boer, Ronald de Boer, Barry Ferguson. Going back to when I played, when I was lucky enough to play against these guys, you're talking about European winners, European Cup, Champions League winners. You're talking about some World Cup winners from Juninho that played at Celtic at the time as well. And you're just lucky enough to grace the same park as them. There's quite a few players that I would say is up there that you play against. You can't just pinpoint one.
No, of course. I mean, back then, Scottish football was awash with some talented players. As you say, internationalists.
Yep.
I mean, European championship winners and all that sort of stuff, like the Boers and all that. I mean, what a time. And then, would you say the Scottish games get better or worse now? But then,
yeah. I think the Scottish, but for me, what they've done and it's been maybe it's downwards is because they took away the reserve football. Because when you were a kid, you were under 18s, you're playing at a level week in, week out, then you're going up. And don't get me wrong, I can understand why they've done it because they thought jump from maybe playing 3-4 years above yourself. But when you're playing against men, there's no playing on a Saturday. You're learning so much more, and it made me ready for playing first team football. But going back to it, I would say back then was probably a better standard, and you just need to look at both sets of teams. To be honest with you, you look at the Rangers teams. There's no many Champions League winners in there. There's no many World Cup winners in the Celtic team or played in the Champions League.
No,
before coming to Celtic.
Right, I'm going to break it up a wee bit. Talking about Motherwell, we're going to do this question roulette. If you can pick a number 1 to 10, pick a number. 8. What movie title would best explain your life?
Hangover.
Hey, I'll jump
Hangover.
Hangover.
What your Brokeback Mountain do?
Hey, only because I done my B license with him, and he kept looking at me all the time.
I didn't believe you were a fucking football player.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. I kept looking, Faggy, what are you looking at? Hey, Crammy, it's cold in here, son.
Right, so then you went on to Stenhousemuir on loan.
Well, to be fair, I had a bad injury at Motherwell, to be fair. And I was a centimetre away from it, my knee going apart. And back then, obviously, the medical stuff wasn't as advanced as it is today. I had 13 months out, and the surgeon said to me it'd be probably better to break my leg than what happened to me. So I had 13 months out. 13 months for myself was just too long. Lost my fitness, lost everything. Tried to get back. You think you're trying to do it, you think you're doing the best you can do, but you're not there. But don't get me wrong, there's things that's happened in the lead up to that as well, that I had to go to loan, that I fell out with Morris Malpass over a reserve game, and then he ends up taking over at the end of the season when Butch went to Australia. And then it was a case of, nah, this isn't for me, that I'm never going to get a chance here. I went out and moved to Stenhousemuir for a month. It was only for January. I think my first game, I remember the season after playing with Motherwell just before the split, and we played Inverness and we were getting beat 3-1. And to be fair, I had not a bad game that day. Just one out of maybe 100. I have a decent game, and we went off the park. And these two old guys always gave me it tight, gave me it stinking. Walking off the park to try to change the game. And they're calling you, you're fiending this, you're this, you're that, and you're shouting at you.
No.
End up doing like that and giving the fingers. But I was lucky because Lennon done it in the exact same weekend. Lennon took the back page of doing it, and I got a wee corner bit up the top. And to be fair, that never really went down well either.
Is that how they get rid of you, Shaun?
No, that was under Big Butch, to be fair.
Is it? Right.
That was under Big Butch, and Big Butch, to be fair, on the Sunday, Big Butch is phoning me. And I'm like, to be fair, the phone call, the house phone, that's how long ago it was. The house phone goes, and I've answered it, and it's a newspaper. I'm like, I'm not speaking to you, put it down. Big Butch is phoning me, I'm like, I'm not answering that. And my wife, she said to me, Shaun, you better answer that, because if you don't, it's going to be worse than Monday. I was like, your phone rings. And I honest to God, I had the phone up there. I could move the phone there, and you still hear him screaming down the phone at me. What the fuck are you doing? I'm like, Gaffer, honestly, boycott my useless feeling bastard, blah, blah, blah. I said, he's getting into my personal life now. He's like, right, okay, right, come and see me Monday. So we dealt with it on Monday, and to be fair to Big Butch, he fined me 2 weeks' wages, but he still stood by me and had a go at the two guys and asked the two guys to come down and have a private meeting with us, but they never ever came.
Nah, chicken did it. What's it like working under Butcher?
Butcher was brilliant for me. Butcher was first class. He just told you how it was. It was straight to the point. Some hairy moments as well, but he liked me as a player and how I played. I never gave Andy a minute. You've seen one of the clips there. I'd just go in, smash folk, and that's it. And I knew my limitations. I knew just win the ball back and get to a faddy or get to somebody who can play. And that's all I done. And I done it well when I played. But there's been a few times you're sitting there going, Jesus, Butcher, you're going to have a heart attack. I remember a time up in Dundee, and we were 2-0 up. We scored at McDonald's, scored 2 goals, 2 cracking goals he scored. And then we come back and it's 2 each. And he's in the shower room, he's lost it with the squad. He's kicked the bin, wee physio, JP Porteous. The bin's actually top of him with all the stuff, all the wraps and all that hanging off him. Just letting it go. There's fucking wraps coming for you or something. He's getting funnier and funnier because he's not moving, he's not taking on half his head. And then he starts to go into the change room and he starts ripping. It's one of these Zara. Now, I don't know if you remember the time, Cam, when Zara tried to take over all the sports leisure wear.
Yep.
He couldn't get his zip done. He's stuck. He starts ripping it like the Hulk at the wrestling. He starts ripping it and just screaming. And I'm like, oh, you need a time out. And I think it was the end of that season that he left to go to Australia.
Because obviously he was always well known for giving it our 100%. I mean, like the famous England picture with him with his bandages round about the head and the shirt covered in blood, and then everybody being the Rangers captain coming up north. And when you hear the stories about Terry Butcher, I just wondered what it would be like to work under someone that would demand so much and having a reputation of being aggressive.
I think it helped because we're all young. See the time because the administration happened. So we all had young boys there and we were all trying to make their way in the game. And with Big Butch, way England captain, his past, his history he's got, everybody lived off his work. So I think that helped him. I think when it became the more experienced players that maybe question a couple of things, I think that's when it maybe fell away from him, because I know when he went to Australia and you had your Dwight Yorks that's played in the Champions League final, won the Champions League, he's trying to manage them. But when he was at Motherwell, you done what he asked you to do. You ran through a brick wall for him because of who he was. And I think that's just because we were young and we're trying to make our way in the game.
No.
Do you think there's a place, Shaun, for the stylish a Butcher then and the current managing role? I know he's is Ipswich now, is Ipswich 23's Crammy?
Who, Terry Butcher?
Terry Butcher.
I know he's
take him in.
I think he is, Jason. I think he is. But I think he is, mate. There was go on, crack on, I'll tell you another question, but I think he is, mate.
Yeah, to be fair, back then, Jason, Terry had this philosophy of putting the ball, seeing the channels from the 18-yard box to the throw in. He had it, put it in there, get your strikers to run in behind, and then we play in their half. Nowadays, modern football, now you're playing out for the back.
Yeah.
Mix it up, but Terry's was, and I know Martin Corr against Stevie Hamill, they didn't enjoy playing for Terry because all it was out your feet, put it in the channel.
Yeah.
Made it hard for midfielders because midfielders would come short to try to get on the ball like myself, and then if the ball's getting launched 60, 70 yards up the park, you're turning and you're sprinting back up the park because if they win the header or the defenders win it, you're looking to pick up second balls. And the others are picking up because they know they're not going to play it into the midfielders. So it's one of the ones I don't think it will work in today's game, but it would, in my opinion.
He was Big Terry Butcher was as hard as he come. Actually, his name was. I'm on another group, right? It's the ex-Saints, ex-Southampton group, and the lads were all talking about Terry Hurlock's on it, Faggy, right?
Oh, there's another one.
So anyway, so they were asking Tell, by the way, what a great guy. I was talking to him today. What a great guy. They were talking to him today and asking about who was the hardest player, or the hardest you've ever played with and trained with. And Terry Butcher's name came up for him and Graham Roberts. Another one, and that was, and by the way, imagine Terry Hurlock saying that Graham Roberts was as hard as he come, because he was, and obviously Graham Roberts as well. So, but he did say he was the hardest player and one of the best left foots he's ever seen. So,
well, you hear the famous stories for ex-Rangers players like McCoist and Durant, where on a Friday they had the England versus Scotland.
That's right.
It's just like a boxing match.
Yeah. That's right.
Then you throw into the mix Graham Souness.
Hey, Jason, I'll tell you a story. I know we're on about fake here, but I'll tell you a little story. This is the best story ever. I'm not joking when I say this. I went to Southampton, right, and Terry Hurlock and Terry Groves because I was a Rangers fan at the time, they took me to a party. So I was in 300 quid a week at Southampton. So I went to this party with Terry Horlock right on a Saturday night, and I came out with 9 rolled up £100 notes. Because every time he sniffed, he told me to keep the £100 note on. I walked out every Saturday with nearly 900 quid. Mate, honestly, you couldn't write it.
I'm guessing that'll be getting cut out.
Mate, brilliant. Because but back in the day, that's what, a lot of players were doing all that at the time. And but I was telling Tell this a few weeks back, and he was laughing. He was going, great stories.
Obviously, you guys, I've never had the luxury of having these sort of stories, but Motherwell obviously had one of the saddest days in its history with Phil O'Donnell, where it was just tragic. And what's your thoughts on that one, that time, Shaun?
I had just left that season. I had went to Galway over in Ireland for the summer football because I had just had a wee girl. But me, my wife, Phil, David, Natalie, and Eileen were all close. Phil was at my wedding with Deborah. We got married in the summer, and then I flew out the next day. And the season over there finished in November, and we came back. And I was in. Remember, I can tell you where I was. I was sitting in the pub in Hamilton, and it was Mavericks at the time. I was sitting there, and I'm drinking away, and I'm playing I was actually playing the buggy, and I get the phone call from Deborah saying, "Shaun, you come home." And I'm like, Deborah, I told you I'll be home at 10 o'clock. She's like, "No, you need to come home. I need to tell you something." Because she could obviously tell I didn't know. And it was obviously the games are going on. I've got my cooking on and all that kind of stuff. And when you're sitting in the pub, you don't see anything like that. No. And when I got up the road, I thought something had happened to my daughter, Becky. So I got up the road, and Deborah told me I was devastated, absolutely devastated.
Oh, of course you would.
And ended up that over that period, we were over at the club. We were more probably supporting David and Natalie, because obviously Clarkie, grew up with Clarkie as well.
Yeah.
And Eileen were at the stadium, and all the flowers, the strips, and everything. It was just.
He was your modern day footballer. I went to Phil O'Donnell. Box to box, I've probably never seen MD as good. And even my time in England, I've never seen MD as good. Lee Bowyer, I can think of, but Phil O'Donnell was up there as the best box to box player for me.
Yeah.
He was outstanding.
A phenomenal player.
And also, by the way, let me just get back to another player with you, Faggy, who rest in peace, and what a lovely guy, and Paul McGrillen. Another bloke, mate. I played with him obviously at the end of my tether with Stenny and things, but what a player he was, and he was a great guy as well. Another phenomenal player.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously.
Did you play with him, Faggy?
No, I was just before my time. I think I was in the youth set up at the time, right. And he just left Motherwell.
Just left
when it was just coming through. He was. I can always remember him running about the place. It's not how when you're on school holidays you took in. And he was a character as well. He loved to laugh.
Some laugh, mate. I used to travel with him in JP, and mate, I just did the story. I remember one day we jumped on the motorway to head up to Stirling, and Mowgli's pulled in, and JP jumped out, and there was a hitchhiker. So JP put the chair forward, and he's went like this and shouted. So the hitchhiker's run 150 yards. JP jumped in and fucked off. Mate, and I'm looking back and I'm going, and the hitchhiker's he's through his in a sign saying Edinburgh, he fucked it, and then his bag, he launched his bag.
I think we need to get JP on one of these times, because Pizzo last week said the same about JP, an exceptionally talented guy. But
see the first time I met JP, first time he'd just been released with Celtic, and he's come in a Motherwell trial. He's training took his top off after
Celtic tattoo.
And he's got a big Celtic tattoo with the Scotland flag and I'm like, oh fuck, you'll do for me.
He was JP was listen, there was Moravcik or Henrik Larsson one fake he put on they done a blob on something and I think it was Henrik Larsson. He put best player he's ever seen. John Paul McGride.
He was frightened.
So imagine Henrik Larsson saying that.
I think it was last week on your podcast that Jason, I think it was you was telling us he turned up with a half bottle of Buckfast on.
No, I can't was still that was
it. He used to jump in a motor Fagan with a bottle of Bucky and then he'd down it by the time he got from the services at Cumbernauld to Stirling to Denny. He would down it, right? And then on the way back home he'd have a bottle of whiskey because he'd get man of the match every week.
Unreal.
Well, to be fair, when I was at Steny, it was a case that he must have been off it because I was, like I said, it was only a month and then the last game I've taken a big carry out for all the boys to thank them for welcoming and all that kind of stuff. And then me and him were driving up together and I'm like, here, do you have him on? He's like, no, I'm off it. I'll go off man up in a moment. I was like, oh, you're driving, just leave it.
Now, obviously, in the podcast, on you go, Crammy. Sorry.
No, on you go, mate. I was just going to go. I'm just saying if we're going to get him on, we'll get some stories with him. You know, JP. I have got loads of them.
We'll need to. Now, another guy, it seems a bit of a crackpot. I don't know if you played with him. Was Slaney, Paul Slane?
No, he was after my time. Do
you watch his podcast on that?
I see him on that Open Goal.
Aye. I love it with bits.
What's his name, Peter?
Paul Slane. Paul Slane. Slaney.
Him and Simon Ferry. Yeah, Crabby.
Yes,
him and Si.
I know Si Ferry in that.
He's doing his own podcast. They're really good together.
Aye, they're really good. They're really good. And then Big Kevin Kyle. But what he says, obviously, for his time at Fir Park, does he call Stevie Craig curly toes or something?
Oh, aye. Goes a lot of time.
He just absolutely bass the man.
Craigs was one of the ones under Big Butch. Big Butch, I love Craigs because he put it in the channel.
Mm-hmm.
But the ball went fucking out first before it came back in.
Because that's what he says. One of the drills that he had today was to hit the ball down the channel. But it was a sort of 3-touch with Slaney, Scott Leach, Tinney, and Cragen. And it would just constantly end up in the stand.
Aye.
Now, I think the guy's funny as anything. But with
Scott Leach... See, talk about Scott Leach here, Shaun. We grew up with we grew up with Tinney, right? He was like, back in the day, he was Crammy and I's coach. And man, I love, we all love Scott to bits, but I tell you what, to work under him. What was it like, Crammy? He was a fucking idiot, wasn't he?
He was I remember JSB. I remember we played. It was a championship game. Swindon played Bristol City, and the day before, obviously, I'm bantering with him, and then I'm 10 minutes on the park, and I've grabbed a load of muck, and I've cracked it on his face, right? And it was full of sand, and it's cut his eye, right? So he's got one eye, and he's chasing me about the whole pitch. Anyway, I've scored, and I ran past next minute. He just went, boom, banged me clean out on the pitch. So yes, so he's get sent off, mate, and I'm good pals with him. And then he never spoke to me for about 2 years, Jason. So he didn't.
Honestly, no.
He was a hell of a player.
He was really good.
See, to be fair as well, one of the, like you see about him to come in hook me,
aye.
We were doing pre-season, and so the week leading up to the first game, it was Celtic at Parkhead. From the first day we're doing the shape and everything. We Scotty McDonald's and the other team going up to Scotty, Leachy's went in and Scotty's done that with his elbow to get himself up. Crack Leachy right across the face, didn't he? I'm like, oh no, here we go. Yeah. Leachy's like, let the ball go to the striker. Because me and him in the middle of the park, and I'm like, okay. He's like, let the ball go to the striker's feet. 2 seconds later, the ball, I think whoever's played it up, big part will maybe have played the ball up to wee Scotty. Scotty's took a bad touch, right back into me and him. And Leachy's just went right at it, done him on his knee. Because he's put him with the chin. And Scotty's not a quiet boy, and he's like, that's some leadership, you're doing this, and you're the captain of the club, and you're doing this to me, blah, blah, and Scotty just had too much to say, and he just went to that line. Leachy's went like, what's that? He said someone else, he went, bang.
He was as hard as they come, man. We used to play at Hearts. We used to play the West versus the East. Glasgow boys against the Edinburgh boys, and they used to leave Leachy out on the Friday because he was trying to smash the Edinburgh boys. He was on another level, mate. So he was. He would smash you, by the way. He was as hard as a player, 50-50, he would rat you.
Aye, and see if you pull out. See if you pull out a challenge, he would let you know about it as well.
Let you know about it, mate. So he would.
He'd get you worse the next time.
Aye, yeah. Terrific lad, though. Lovely guy.
See if you pull out a tackle on your next team, he would actually come in and kick you.
I know he would, mate.
Aye. So we'll try this question again. Give me another number from 1 to 10. You picked number 8 before.
3.
If you could invite 4 people to a dinner table, who would they be and why?
3 people.
4.
4 people.
Aye.
Can't you pick the 2 donuts underneath, can I?
Oh no.
You
the 2 cavemen would be eating with their finger and everything else.
I would probably pick who would I pick? Jeez, that's a question.
I know an answer right away. His missus, because his missus looks after him anyway.
Aye.
Definitely Jason.
Edit this.
I'd probably pick Lambert.
Why?
Why? Because me and him didn't see eye to eye in the park, to be honest, and I think it came from the first game we played against each other. As you showed a clip earlier, the first game I played against Poland, it would be probably when I scored against Celtic at Fir Park, but I came off the bench maybe 78 minutes or something like that, I scored in the 82nd, but between the 78 and the 82nd, I booted the ball that hard. It was right in his balls. He actually chased me about the park for the rest of the game, wanted to batter me.
Did he have a full set of teeth then?
Yeah?
Did he have a full set of teeth then? Or was that before Albert's or after?
No, that was... no, wait a minute. Oh, that was after Albert's. That was after Albert's. But I'll tell a story now. We'll talk about Lambert. Right? So I've done that in the first game. And I kicked the balls after he gave it to like, who you hit your area with, blah, blah, blah. So we've played the second game at Parkhead. We've won the game. They're talking about, all the newspapers are talking about how they're going to do battles between goals, do this and do that. And we've got to half time. We've got a boy, Stevie Ferguson, up and loan from Tottenham. And we should have been at least 3-0 up at Parkhead. Larson was on the bench. We played really well. We played 3-5-2. We played the Thursday night game. And before that, my uncle goes back to me and says, Shaun, whatever you do, enjoy the experience. Do not get sent off. I was like, I'm not going to get sent off. I'm enjoying it. I'm at Parkhead. The club I've supported when I'm growing up. The first half goal, bang, we should have been 3-0 up. A little bit disappointed with not winning the game. Second half starts, Larson comes on. The ball comes in the left-hand side, cuts it back in, Leachy scores a OG. He's tried to cut it in near post, scores a OG, goes 1-0 up. Lee, red misses came out already, could be 3-1 up, this is terrible, blah, blah, blah. Taylor gets took, ball gets laid back, I'm on the left-hand side, launch your ball into the corner. Well, Harm's there. Well, Harm's turning, and as soon as he turns, I'll go right into him, smash him. I turn around to get up, I knew I'm getting booked for it. But all you see is this 30-odd-year-old boy running half the length of the park. Leach is trying to get a hold of him. It's Lambert shouting everything. He just wanted to, he hated me. So I would probably have him at my dinner.
Just to throw at each other.
But Brian, I had a wee chuckle there. I was going to say, Shaun Fagan, there's no way you're a Rangers fan. There is no way you're a Rangers fan. So I'm so glad you've highlighted that you're a Celtic fan. Huh?
Well, see, to be fair, if you really want to say my proper name, Shaun Fagan.
It just gets worse. Every time you say it, it just gets worse, doesn't it? This is Peter. Peter, as you probably already know, is trying to get in Rangers TV. He's doing all this Rangers stuff here. It's embarrassing, actually. Good night, Carney.
Even get my Castor t-shirt. All right, Sandy Murray, right enough.
Hey, later, Stirling.
Eh?
Hey, listen.
Later, Stirling.
Andy Murray.
Right, I've got a question for you, Faggy boy, right? I want to go to your managerial record. You've got the same managerial record as Sam Allardyce.
There you go.
You managed one game. You beat Rangers.
No. The Rangers.
No.
Thanks very much for being the guest, Shaun.
Got 100% record. Is that all right?
Thanks very much for everybody. Next week's show.
Faggy, is that all right? 100% record.
That's right. What do you call it? Big Greg. Big Greg was the manager. He didn't get married, so myself and Mark over, but Mark played that day, so I think he's posted the photos before. He was like a lunatic at the side of the park. But that was someday that. That was someday that.
Anyway, I need to ask a question. Peter's obviously, have you still got that slideshow to go with, Peter?
Yes.
Right, okay, so the slideshow is still going, right? But who gets merit playing against one of the biggest teams in Scotland? I mean, you just tell this guy's henpecked here right away and just say, "Oh, hen, I'm playing Rangers today."
Well, to be fair, he had arranged it before Rangers got demoted the year before, so everyone was booked, and he had get promoted because of the scenario with Rangers. And then he just took the places. He thought they were playing ahead, and then he was devastated. To be fair, he was devastated when it came about. Three shots. He's there, I know, at one point. He gets 3 cracks and he still couldn't win.
I'm telling you that.
We're convinced after that game. Peter and I were having a look at some clips through that game, and we actually thought you got a sponsorship deal with it, actually. And Peter, you want to put that clip up for us, please?
I'm trying to.
Oh my! No wonder you can't get a job, Peter. Honestly, no wonder St Mirren are going to sack you.
The resolutions are different. Aye, so you're like that.
Aye, so
Jason, it's Blantyre Rangers. He's going to no Rangers.
So we're getting a sponsorship deal that day with Rightguard. And on that cue, Peter, you're going to put the picture up, aren't you?
No.
Oh my lord. Oh my lord.
Is he bailed?
It's fell right in his arse.
Is he bailed out, is he?
Come bailed out.
We had it scripted the whole scripted.
The two sat on it last night, working on it. Then we're thinking, right, okay, we'll get this sorted. I'm mucking about with it, but it's just no happening. So, no, you can't even see that because I've got the...
Take that background thing off it and see if it works.
Here, do you want me to send you? Do you want me to send you a couple of pound up, Peter? To sort out
Aye, it's just...
Oh, 50p in the car.
That's it. Oh, and that.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hey, what's that one? Oh. Hey, what about the Monday? What a
What?
So we're convinced, obviously, there was a right guard in there. Alan McCoy definitely didn't look happy after that one, didn't he?
Oh, he wasn't happy.
Listen, hey, I've shared a dressing room with Faggy. He never used right guard.
You like smelling underneath, Grammy?
Hey. Hey. So then you went to Ireland. How did that come about?
To be fair, I get released from Motherwell at the end of the season. I had been up to Dundee for a trial. 2 weeks I was up there with Alec Ray as manager. And Alec was like, oh, I need to see you in a game. I said, but the season's finished now, Alec. I said, so, you know, in the past I've played against you. Surely you can make a decision on that. He said, but you've been out for a full year. I said, no, listen, that's fair enough. But there's no other game. I can't be sitting here waiting. Plus, my wife had just had a baby girl, Becky, in January. So obviously being young, all you're thinking about is looking after the family, make sure you've got enough money coming in. If you're going to be out all season and not getting any money coming in, Deborah was maternity leave. So the opportunity arose to go to Galway. I went over there for, I think it was like just for a weekend, trained on the Friday, played the game on a Saturday, and on the way home on the Sunday they wanted to sign me. So I was like, it's a no-brainer. We're over there, it was a different world. I met some really, really good folk over there. And Galway actually looked after me. The funny story with this one is, remember Nick Leeson, the trade?
The actor?
Aye.
He was looking after the fucking finances.
That broke down the bank.
Aye,
Brilliant.
What the bank's doing? He's looking after their finances.
Bloody hell.
I flew back over after my wedding in June. I've done a couple of training sessions. Nick came to me and said, Shaun, we need to get your bank opened. I said, right, no worries. There was a boy I was sharing with at the time, John Lester. And he's like, I'll like the car share. He says, I'll take you in. And Nick says, I'll meet you in there. So we went in to the AIB in Galway. And we're sitting in the waiting room and Nick's like, you're better bank with the same bank at the club bank so you'll get your wages quicker, etc. I was like, it doesn't bother me. And he's talking away and he says to the boy, John Lester, he says, John, you've got a few problems with this bank. And Nick goes like that. Well, to be fair, I've got a few problems with a lot of banks.
But I mean, see, we talked about Ireland there when you went to Ireland. There was a strong hammer, right? The reason why you went to Ireland, right? That because that was about the boy band time, right? And I believe Boyzone was just round about that time, right? But they wanted a Scottish version, right? So Louis Walsh believably had a bit of a say in it, right? Because he seen this.
I look good in that one as well. That's one of my summer ones.
If Pierre had done his stuff right, you would actually see it better. But you just can't see it in my mobile phone. Cranny, what do you think of that?
It was working perfect last night.
We're back to St Mirren stuff here.
He's not even interested, Jason.
I can see it. He's got here.
Aye, that's Terry Butcher.
I'll tell you that way. It's Leachy on the left-hand side.
Who's it? Leachy?
Aye, Leachy's on the left-hand side. Well, it was my left-hand side. You've got Big Butcher.
So it is.
Butcher was at the far end.
Phil
O'Donnell's beside me. In between him and Leachy's myself and Big Butcher's on the left-hand side. That was a young one at the time.
How did the rehearsal go then?
Well, to be fair, I sounded like a young.
I young Willie Walsh. Well, following on for the Ireland thing, there is a strong rumour. Again, Peter would have put it on in his chat, but he's obviously knocked that right up here. Right? You enjoyed yourself a wee bit too much when you were out there, right? Because what they started getting was all this carry on.
Well, to be fair, it was a Friday night league.
What's that he's going? Is that a Celtic hat?
It's the NBA Celtic, Boston Celtics.
Boston Celtics.
Aye.
Yeah. To be fair, mate, that's if you went out of Ireland, went to Galway, the Galway Festival's the best 4 days that you'll get in the world.
Galway Races was brilliant as well.
That's what I mean. That's what that is. It's a festival, isn't it? The Galway Festival. That's the races for 4 days.
That's the Pound Festival, Crammy.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's big long.
Yeah, they say that's the best 3 or 4 days in the planet is a Galway Festival.
Brilliant.
So you enjoyed
Faggy, what? So Faggy, how come? So you played in Ireland, you had 9 appearances, is that right?
Aye. The season only started, remember when I went over, they were on a break and it was July before the game started. We played against, we've done pre-season games against Sunderland when Roy Keane was the manager there. They came over.
Right.
And it was one of his games. He took them to tour of the island. So we played.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Oh, another one. We were playing. And you know, remember the big boy Enkihu? Centre mid.
Yeah.
Big boy, he was 6 foot tall. Honestly, I was trying to him, man, what am I going to do with you here? Right, so we're starting at a corner, I'm picking him up. He goes to the front post, but there's no way I'm going with him. So I've just smashed him right in the private bits, man. Honestly, God, he just went like that. There you go. He's got a big, he was called centre half. Kieran tried an overhead kick and smashed him in the face. Big Chief just picked him up with the throat and hanging. There's an actual picture somewhere. His wee legs are dangling off the ground. I'm like, this is my cup of tea. I love this.
So I'm going to quickly take you back, right? I know we're going backwards and forwards here, right? But you were a part of some of the young setup when Motherwell went into administration. Do you think at that particular time, I mean, at that time, there was some big players there, didn't they? They had some big names. Who was the big Dutch guy? Was it Van de Gaag? Was it Van de Gaag?
No, I think he was before us, but we had big Nico Campbell, the big centre.
Campbell, that's what it was. He stayed up in Lanark, didn't he? A lot of these guys all, I mean, financially, it was a bit of a shame for what, I know some of them lost a shitload of money.
I was speaking to a guy that was Stirling, and Stevie Nicks was just in for us in Stirling. Remember him?
Hi, Big Eddie, man. He's another hard fucker.
He just did a 4-year deal and I can tell it's one void.
I hated playing against him, mate, because he used to smash me every time.
Aye. But that's what you're saying, Jason, like, even financially, lost so much money. Eddie Forrest, he just came for the lower leagues, got a 4-year deal, and then he's been told that, listen, your contract's terminated.
Yeah. So see at that time then, Frank, was that probably the best thing that probably could have happened to the club to allow these guys an opportunity? Because you had guys like Pearson, yourself, Faddy, Diggy Ramsey was some player as well, wasn't he?
Aye, but see, to be fair in that one, Jason, we already had made it into that squad, before that.
Right.
I made my debut under Eric.
Eric Black.
The previous season. Easter Road, we get 3-0. Big Cal Reddy that was playing. Greg Strong.
Oh, aye. Good player, yeah. Centre back.
You had all of them, and so Faddy was the first one out of the youth setup that he played on Boxing Day against Rangers. Billy Davis gave him his chance, but then there was a couple that just broke in. just before administration. But that's not to say it never gave me a better chance, because then I played more regular football and I wasn't getting here and there. So the administration, it was bad for certain folk because financially and their contracts getting terminated. But then it was for the younger ones to actually get a taste of the football and then progress. And we were lucky because that year we should have been relegated.
Mm-hmm.
But Falkirk Stadium, wasn't it right? And we,
That's right, aye.
And we stayed in the division, and then the following year, I think Aberdeen went down.
Whatever. Try to phone me just to see if anything's up. We've got a couple of big jobs on tonight. Sorry, guys. I've got a few jobs on, but one of the main guys is ringing me. Go give me
You want to take it?
Didn't it?
Nah, it's all right.
So see, this leads up to, sorry Peter, you're not going to like this one. So obviously Motherwell went into administration, right? So we smirking his face here. So when the Rangers went into liquidation, right? And then they started again, do you think? And I can't get my head around this, obviously.
Liquidation, not a club.
No, they went into liquidation, Pierre. Get it right, son, right? So they went into liquidation. See, when they went down to the bottom, do you not think then that was the best opportunity for them? Instead of paying $5,000 a week to this player, $6,000 to that player, just working with the academy guys and just saying, right, let's go for it for there.
Listen, 100% agree with you, Jace. And Peter will probably back this one up. My thoughts could have been. And I don't even think it's just Rangers. I think Celtic could have done it as well, because Aberdeen's a closest challenge. If Celtic breeded one or two young boys in, they've not really got a challenge, but they've got 4 years to bed them into the team.
Yeah.
Rangers had 4 years to go and say, go and give me 16 or 18 bodies. It's Rangers fans, they'll do anything for the club and go and let them play.
But then you throw in the Rangers need to be back as quick as possible. The demands to come up.
What would you rather have? A team of maybe 20, 21 year olds that definitely are going to die for the club. It's going to play their heart out, and then maybe take 5 or 6 years to the club. Stay together for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
When they hit the Premier League, they're going to be. They know each other inside out.
Well, look,
the lower divisions.
I mean, at the time I was the Rangers, and we had some great players. I mean, obviously you had Fraser Aird,
07450.
Lewis McLeod, Callum Gallagher.
450. You're not playing a flat.
We can still hear you giving out somebody's number, you ticket.
Really, put it in mute. Put it in mute.
Sorry, mate.
Get it on mute.
I mean,
but you know that Lewis McLeod there, right? I taken Lewis McLeod to Livingston when he was, I think he was about 11 years old, right? And I played with his dad, Kenny. I played with the juniors with Kenny. Kenny is for Doncaster Friday, right? And his cousin, I don't know if you know Big David McKeon, the goalkeeper.
Aye. Big David played over. I'll tell you a different story.
He was out in Ireland as well, wasn't he?
He was in Derry with John Roberts and me, Robbo.
Aye, that's right.
When I was at Galway.
Aye, that's right. See, so Davey was still at Livingston, and I think if memory serves me right, there was a game. I think it was against Dundee United. Craig Brewster scored into him. It was a midweek game. It was a cup game, and. He ran right off the pie. He had a great game and made 2 mistakes, and that was like his first game at playing senior. And Krabby, you're having a nightmare, mate. Honestly, you're having a nightmare. And he ran straight off. He ran straight off the park, and Leishman loved him, absolutely loved him. But she tried to convince Kenny because of the ordeal that Davey went through, and I'm saying to Kenny, listen, Lewis is a talent, mate. And see when I take him up to Livingston, he was signed after 10 minutes, mate. Phenomenal player. And I think he lasted maybe 6 months up at Livingston before Rangers come in and got him. And you're right, and for me, I would be looking at guys like that and saying, why am I paying Kevin Kyle $6,000 or whatever the hell is when there could be a young prospect here, but maybe 6 of them give him a chance.
Casey still had the experience of Big Lee McCulloch.
And you'd Lee Wallace, Kenny Miller, all these sort of guys still kicking about the club. But you had some fantastic players. I mean, we won the Youth Cup final, and in goals, you guys like Liam Kelly, who I think is a phenomenal goalkeeper. Craig Halkett at the back. I mean, it's fantastic.
You seen all that, Peter, because you were there at the time, weren't you?
I was there at the time, I actually done the game, the Youth Cup final.
Sure, Peter, surely you must get frustrated when you see all the kids and how good they are. And then you look at your Ian Blacks, you look at your Kevin Kyles, it's getting thousands of pounds a week to play in the 3rd division.
Well, that's why I tried to take a balance. I would have loved to have seen the guys coming through. Not only were they great guys and I got on well with them, but a club like Rangers or Celtic, if it happened to any other club, you've got the demands. You need to be back very, very quickly, season on season, to get back. So Alan McCoy at the time, it was a really, really dodgy.
On the other thing, Peter, you've got what's his name? It was assistant manager. He left Celtic under 21s. Won 9 titles or 10 titles in a row with Celtic under 21s. Who was the assistant? McCoy's assistant.
Coach Kenny McDowell. He was at Celtic. That's right.
You've got a guy there that works with kids. It's got a good history. What with kids and getting success out of them. But they never ever went down the road. Rangers have done really well this season. Hats off to them. They've been the best team. But I think if Rangers went down the system and saying, we want to bring in 5 or 6 players with some experienced players, we'll build it up, we'll get the experience. I think they'd have been closer to Celtic when they got back to the Premier League than what they were
home-based players. I mean, you look at the two McCrory brothers. I mean, they're great guys.
I think the SFA have got a lot to answer for grassroots football, especially in Scotland, because a population of 6 million or 7 million, which we have got, and then I played in Holland for 3 years. Now Holland's got the less population. Every pitch in Holland is like a Wembley. They don't have red ash pitches. You don't have your skitty grass pitches. The SFA don't invest enough for me. They've got a thing in Holland called the CF called, and what they do is they take 4% of every player's wages in Holland and invest it into a fund for youth development on pitches and other things. Yeah. And for me, the SFA should look. And by the way, when I was up there, I mentioned things like that to them and things. They're not interested. They're absolutely not interested.
I don't think it's run with the right people.
Well, I just think they've listen, go back to Neil Doncaster and the peak and back to him. And we can keep naming players, naming people, but they've done nothing like that for 20 years. You don't. I mean, I'm going to pitches when I come up the road and I see they're full of dog shite and glass.
Yeah.
You don't see that in Holland. I'm just giving that as an example. You don't see it. There's not enough money invested in grassroots football for me.
Yeah.
Guys, what do you think about the performance goals? Because me, I'm not a fan of them.
Well, I look at Bratos, right, and I think the Bratos side, I think they look at Motherwell in particular, and then if you're in the youth setup at Motherwell, you obviously you're like Hamilton. I think Hamilton will have that luxury if they had to go to Bratos. Sure, but see if we went on to Airdrie. I know some of the guys that I had at Airdrie. If they weren't involved at either Hamilton or Motherwell before in their time, they weren't even thought about. And I disagreed with that. So if you're working with another lad called Lewis Gracie. Lewis Gracie went to Benfica about 3 or 4 times, and he was at Motherwell, I believe, when he was a really young kid, and that's the only reason why he got in. But Benfica were super interested in this kid when he was 14, 15. Do I believe? I think, again, Peter said something about having the right people involved. I know you know Clarky, Stevie Clark, top guy, top coach. Where is he now? Is he Bretos, is he? I think they are. It'll only be good for because it's only this year he's went, isn't he?
What's that?
It's only this year he's went.
No, he's been there for maybe 2 years now.
Oh, is he? All right, okay.
Is Hammy still there? Steve Hamill?
No, I think it's Paul Burns that's looking after it in a minute.
Aye, there's a few in there, aye.
I just think when they're playing performance levels, right? But when me and Crammy were at high school and primary, I mean, there was no limitations to it. I mean, Crammy and I played a semi-final in the afternoon, and then played the final that night. And I mean, then there was, I mean, we were 12, 13, 14, and then Crammy and yeah. I mean, we just go on with it, but there's a point where you have to super protect the kids, but I think you only super protect the kid when they get to the 14, maybe the 15, 16, 17 mark, because you don't want them doing too much.
See, for what I've had, like I'm picking up Grammy's point about the last 20 years that the SFA have done nothing. Now, the performance skills, maybe be out here, but I think they've been up and running for about 20 years. And all you're going to hear now is it's such a success because we've got Billy Gilmore and a cracking wee player before he went into the performance skills. But
he didn't go to a performance school.
He did.
What one? Yeah. Because he was at Rangers when I was there. He was in the under 15s. They were him and Dapo.
Aye.
And some of the other kids. But I don't think they had the agreement yet with the high school.
I've seen something on Twitter about the performance skills and how we went through this. This is one of the, this is what you eat like and all that nonsense. We haven't gone through one of them. I don't know. In fact, Stevie Clark would be best to tell you, Jess, what one he went to, but he definitely went to one.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what they're living off of. It's like kind of like Hamilton. Hamilton lived off James McArthur and James McArthur. Where's the next one's coming? When's the next one's coming? To hit the top level. We Hamilton, we've got Lewis Ferguson, who's went up to Aberdeen, and the club got a wee bit shafted because they never get much money for that. And you've had Greg Docherty going to Rangers, but never ever been at the top level down in England. Mm-hmm. But Billy goes down there. The performance skills have been great. It's such a success. I don't agree with him because, like yourself, Jace, you're a coach. If one of your boys are away doing something and that coach has a different idea, I know they try to tell you, but it's just working on technique, it's working this and working that. But when you speak to the boys yourself, no, it's not. It's totally different. They're contradicting what the coaches at the club say.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's a good enough connection unless, like you said, Bretos is more about Motherwell and Motherwell's players. And you've got a relationship because Motherwell's invested into Bretos as well. And Celtic's done it with the school in Glasgow.
Rangers have got a school.
And Rangers got a school, so they go to three. But your teams like Hamilton, all the other Hibs Hearts, they're going to put. We've got a wee boy, Lewis Latorna, who's doing it down the air, the school down in there. And he's getting taught differently from what the coaches at Hamilton's getting taught.
Yeah.
Contradicting each other.
Yeah, mixed message. What did you do in England, Carney?
What's that?
They do like these like performance skills up here, like extra coach the kids. Yeah. But are they got any like that down in Bristol and whatever?
Aye, they've got in Bristol. They have run 5 days a week. I'll give you an instance. The big centre half with Villa plays for England, Tyrone Mings.
Yeah.
He's his own academy down here, and it's run by a few guys I know, a few ex-players, and it's 4 or 5 days a week. But this is something I'm going to come back to, which I think as well. That I spoke to Steve Holland, right, the England guy. I was talking to him last year, and he was asking me about performances and different things. But how many? See, do you know these clubs in Scotland? They train us. They've all changed the league. Is that right? 5 or 6 clubs.
Yeah. No, there's.
Your guys training us at Morton. Yeah.
Right?
Most of the clubs are training in AstroTurf. Now, I think that's a big problem. All these clubs have reverted from from grass to Astro, so that the club makes money. I think there's no interest in the players and the young kids, the people through. I don't see it growing. That clubs that train and play in Astro, that players will go on and make it down south. Because you can't tell me how many players leave England, leave Scotland and come to England and do well. Not a lot. Not a great deal of players. MacArthur, but who else? Andy Robertson. I mean, going through all the years, you tell me players that have left Snodgrass, but I should be naming 50, 60 players.
You're plucking them out like straws. There's only one or two instead of that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think that's back to where these clubs that want to change for grass to Astro, and there's training, and I know. Listen, I know sometimes it's good to train in Astro, but these guys are getting coached daily, week in, week out on AstroTurf, and then they go in and play on a Saturday, and then these players that leave then to come to England, they don't make it. I don't see them progressing. And Steve Holland mentioned that to me last year. He was talking about the exact same thing. Scotland's got the most Astros in 84% of countries or something like that. Something like that he made up to me. Because we constantly the Premier League teams and even your Steny Muir, they'll change the Astros. I don't know why. I never. Me growing up as a player, Snoddy growing up as a player, we all played in grass. Jason, you played in grass. Faggy, you as well.
Yeah. Do you think that's because the men at the top are businessmen rather than ex-professionals?
Yes.
They see it as a business.
That's exactly where I was coming from.
They see it as a business.
See it as a business because they only get. We go back to they only get a handful of players coming out every few years. I think we would have a lot more players coming out if everybody trained and played on grass, normal pitches.
I mean, a couple of years ago, you had this Henry McLeish report. I mean, what was that all about? Just speak to people in clubs. Oh, he done something. Exactly.
That's that question.
What is it? Nobody knows.
By the way, Shaun, you obviously have to be careful what you say here because you're with the club, right?
Yeah.
But one of the best guys I ever worked for was Alan Maitland. And you know he says he's a top guy, and his idea. I worked with him at Alloa, and his idea was when he was obviously Aki's manager, got the opportunity to go up to Alloa, and he said to Mike Mulvaney, "Listen, you need to invest into AstroTurf." And he went, "Oh no!" And I went, "No, trust me, the beneficial factor because Alan's an accountant, and the money and the revenue that Alloa gained through it, obviously first team would train on it, youth academy would train on it, and then you would go there every other night and be rented out. And see, on a Friday night they had all these like community clubs and whatever and that. I mean, the place was like mob, but the money they must have generated on it would be a nice amount. And if I can mind right, did Hamilton go for AstroTurf back to grass, back to AstroTurf? Am I right in saying that?
They did, yeah. Because the first time they got back in the SPFL, the AstroTurf wasn't permitted, I'm sure. But they got up. It was only allowed into the Championship or League One, whatever you want to call it. At the time, it was only that, and then they had to do it again. But financially, you're looking at, if you obviously I work there now and I look at it as a business sense as well. The money you have to fork out to go training pitches on grass, and then your games on grass on a Saturday, Sunday. On a Saturday, Sunday, you're probably before the first team game, you probably get 2-3 games going on.
That's right, yeah.
Before the kick off on a Saturday, and then on a Sunday, you get 2 games playing after each other, 15s and 16s or whoever it is that's playing.
Yeah.
That does save the club a lot of money for half point of view. They don't make revenue coming in. The revenue they've saved it for paying this money out. Kind of stuff. They've got the part behind the games as well. The community stuff done. We've done a thing with the Cruyff Court, Johan Cruyff Foundation. They've relayed 5 or 6 pitches which we use for the community as well. There's all good stuff there. As a business sense, going back to Tammy, us growing up, we grew up in ash parks, we grew up in grass parks, we grew up in concrete because you played your game on a Saturday morning with your school and it was an red ash. Then you would go away and play with your boys club at 12 o'clock in grass. Then you would go up and still play in the street with your mates at 5 o'clock. And then on a Sunday you would go and play a pro youth game on grass or after, whatever it was. As a young kid, you weren't really caring at that time. But benefit to me, you get 4 different scenarios there, you're using 4 different surfaces. Nowadays, for me, kids maybe have it too easy because you come to a point like, I'm just looking at a Hamilton boy, I say this to them. Sometimes they come to the park, got the stadium around them, they're playing on a Premiership club. For me, I don't think it's a privilege anymore. I think it's now becoming, because of how long these pro youth systems have been set up, it's just coming in normality now.
Yeah.
It's on a boys club, it's like it's just as good as being as a boys club, but instead it should be a privilege coming to these places to train, to play, and work your backside off the stadium kind of thing.
And the parents sometimes see it as a status symbol for their kids. Well, my son plays with Hamilton Accies, and they're kitted out with all the kit all the time. All the kits to them, and
I'm just going to try and move on a wee bit here, Shaun, right? And I still go back to Fir Park because you know I'm a Motherwell fan. You kid on, now look at you, I'm not a Rangers fan, Shaun, right? I just like to line these up, right? But you know I'm a Motherwell fan, but I'm going back to a time here where I'm going to show you this. And that's the
Italy.
That's the Italian team. I mean, you've got players like that at Fir Park. Aye, I mean, these players, and then you've got them in the shed. You've got them on the shed, Trapattoni and that in the shed. Now,
that's the SS squad, is it no? That's the service mob, is it no?
It's the Saturday service team.
See then, were you still there when they were at Fir Park then?
We set up in the main stand and watch the training session.
I was going to ask. Now you talk. They were talented guys then, right? What about? Was there any interaction? Any autographs out like a wee kid again? No, not allowed to.
They were kept away from it, to be fair. It was a closed training session, but the majority of young ones were like, we had to make sure everyone was playing Friday. So we were allowed to sit up, stand, like the shade now. They would be over there. But they got to a certain stage in the training session where you're not allowed to watch, so you had to just leave. And then we cut off, and then the boys did. You seen them on the park, but you didn't see them around a bit of competition.
Did it take you back to that stage here?
Oh, look at the wee blonde man.
Did it take you back to them?
What about the size of the legs on him?
You're better looking than any. You're better looking than any. Son.
My ears are fitted.
You grew
into Figgy told me when I was on his B licence that he slipped in and got Del Piero's slips, kept them.
Mammy, go and get them for you, Crammy.
Right, I'm going to ask one of these questions again.
Del Piero's slips, son.
Right, so pick a number 1 to 10.
Fagan, before you go there, right? Listen to this. This is what I found today as well. Every time Fagan scored, with every team they won.
Didn't he make many goals?
Decent that is. Every time you scored, they won.
I've got 100% record as a manager.
Aye.
Every time I scored, I won.
100%.
Just put me on the ball.
Mate, you should be managing a Premier League team, son.
Go on, Pedro.
Right, pick another number 1 to 10.
7.
7. If you had a superpower, what would it be and why?
Grammy. Superpower.
Aye. Laser vision, X-ray vision.
Can't my wife.
He had no vision. Hey, football fan.
Granny, I'm going to tell you something now. Seeing a Saturday night from Motherwell Point, you're right. There was no vision. There was no vision.
I used to walk out of Motherwell Point, and you were starting bouncing.
One of the first times I met Jason, I was talking to the right? And a wee bit of trouble. The bouncer's got a hold of me. Big Paul Smith. Jason.
Aye, Big Paul, yeah.
Right, so Paul's one of a good mate of mine, and he's looked up the stairs, and the bouncer's got a hold of him, and my hands are behind my back. And next minute, all you hear is Paul shouting, "Let him go!" And the boy's like, "I can't." He's telling me he's going to bite his nose off me. He's going to bite the nose off me. I'm like, right, so stop it. Just let him go. Then 2 minutes later, I say, I can't remember until Paul actually told me this a couple of weeks ago. I've actually launched myself down the stairs, knowing I'm taking the bouncer away me. And you know yourself, Jace, how many stairs there's up there. I've hit every stair, but I've got the bouncer away me. I've just hit high seat after stair every time it's been down. And I've got up and go like that. Just get to fuck.
By the way, Paul's the top lad. Paul, I can always mind him and Youngie having a big ding dong. Now the two just didn't. Paul, I don't know if you do you know Paul Smith, the big he was English. It wasn't a Scouser, was he? He was from Birmingham. Aye. So he come up. He was one of the academy coaches at Motherwell. Cammy and Gordon Young had a big set too. And I can remember James McFadden and Stephen Pearson getting into the Scotland squad. And the big write up was Scotland's upcoming heroes discovered by an Englishman. and he always told me that Youngie wanted to release Faddy, and they had a big set too. That's how they end up walking out, because he wanted Faddy to go and but he was the young Motherwell boys would always come to the door, and you're like, oh, here we go. What age are you, son? What age are you? You're 18, 19. And you know some of them are only 17 and a bit. And I only go, Stephen McMillan. I can remember when I worked in Jesse. Stephen McMillan was like the band leader. He was playing first team at that time, Shaun, and before he went down to, was it Wigan he went down to?
I went to Wigan.
He brought all the young boys in, and I can mind them coming in with Lee McCulloch, and we grew up with Lee, and I went, what are you doing? What are you really doing in here? Because I tried to figure it out, and I'm saying, now he must be only 17. He must be 17. But McMillan was the party leader.
Okay, I'm going to subject here. I'll come back to the Super Power in a minute. We were in the Foyle Cup, and it was the second year. I spoke about it earlier on. I touched on it earlier. the second year, we never won the actual cup. We won the plate because there's 2 minutes there. Once you get knocked out, you go into the plate. So we've won that, and then we went back, and it was Dave McParland and Paul Smith that was taking us. So we're over in this big, nice hotel, put up big fancy hotel. So we're going back. Big Paul's like, you can go to a snooker club, Shaun, you know where it is, it's down the road. So he's, I need to bother. You're in charge. Skipper, take him back up the road, get him back up here for 11. I need worries, no worries, get him back up. We're at the snooker club. And I'm not going to mention names, there's a couple of boys like, Mum was just going to a nightclub. We knew where that was because we were there last year, but last year we'd won the foil cup. So we went to the nightclub, we've got in, remember, we're 15-year-old and they've just let MD in. So I'm like, what's this again? So there's 3 went to the bar and we're standing talking away, and the boys like, what you want? I said, can I get a can of Coke, please? And then a couple of boys were having a couple of pints. And then next minute the boy turns around and goes like this, guys, what you here for? So I'm like, I didn't listen. He says, here for the weekend, what you're over for? And this must be back at 12 or something. And next minute one of the boys picks up and goes like, we're playing in the foil cup. And I'm like, oh fuck this, put the can of Coke down and just head you for the door. The pint is doing and everything. I'm like, why are you fucking you get back to the hotel and that way you've been bad boys, you've moving in at the right time. So you're taking them up the stairs, hoping that they're not there. And then next minute, one of the boys at the back says, Shaun, you go first, they like you. I'm like, will you fuck off? Next minute, you just hear Dave McParland, just get your asses up here right now.
By the way, a couple of things for me, right? Crammy, I need to ask you first, Steve, with this one, right? What's probably the worst thing that you can think of that you've done on a football pitch? What do you think the first thing?
Oh God, what have I done? I'll tell you what I've done, right? And this is, you'll laugh at this. We had a boy playing with us called Kenny at Lunt. He played for Sheffield Wednesday, but he played with Crewe for a number of years. We were live in Sky one night against Forest, and I put a bit of tape in the top of his L, and he played for 12 minutes with it. He was running about with cunt. I get fine. I put a bit of white tape on it, mate. And if you Wikipedia Kenny Lunt, there's a bit about that where he'll tell you that I put a bit of tape on his fucking Tappy's name for L. It was the same, and I put a bit of tape like that, and he had cunt. And he was on, and it wasn't Mark Rivers had to tell him after 12 minutes because the whole team was laughing. It was a classic.
Well, I must have. I think the worst thing I actually done to somebody. I was on the bench one day, and this guy, I'll name anonymous with his name, right? I always knew he changed his pants at half time. Some sort of ritual that he had, right? And it sort of upset me during the week. So I do wintergreen and just slip it on his boxers. And obviously does his ritual, comes out and he's on his boys for about 20 minutes.
I've seen YouTube clips with folk doing that and bugger that for a carry on.
Shaun, there's a wee story coming out. But I don't know where it came from, right? But we were playing Hearts one day in a reserve game, I believe. And you couldn't hold it in anymore.
Continue.
Shaun, and
please tell me you pants on the pitch.
Well, let's just say he went to his knees. All the games getting played, and he had to obviously Mother Nature called.
There's one you had to hide it.
And where was the Lithuanian part that I'm hearing about?
What's that?
There was some sort of Lithuanian part involved with this.
Right, you lost me.
Right, I watched you. Big Willie K, right? Big man says, ask him about the time he had to go to his knees, get it out, do a pee on the pitch, and you were playing Hearts. But he mentioned something about Lithuanian, some sort of Lithuanian. I don't know what he means with that.
Nah, you need to ask Big Willie. I'm not
Yeah, you know exactly what he's talking about. You know exactly what he's talking about.
He's not incriminating himself.
Big Willie.
Yeah.
He's some kid.
Yeah, Jason, imagine you done that register.
Oh man.
There's one I thought he was coming up with a different one. There's one time I was in Stirling, and you know how that stupid rule that if you get cycling shorts on, you've got to change. It's got to be the same colour as the shorts. Right, mine's wearing the same colour. The referees made me go off. I swear to God, I was only wearing the fucking the cycling shorts.
And the underwear on.
Somebody's took no slips, no boxers, nothing. Somebody's took a photo of me. Has to get changed. The big bare arse is hanging everywhere, man.
So what we'll do now is, if it's all right with you guys, go through a couple of games for the weekend. Obviously we've spoken, had a few laughs, so I don't want to get through all the games. So we'll pick the obviously, because Shaun's on, we'll pick the Motherwell game and the Celtic game, if that's all right with you guys.
That's fantastic for me, Peter. I love that. If you want to just leave it the Motherwell game, we'll just talk about Celtic.
Concentrate me in the first game. Concentrate on the Motherwell game.
Aye, we'll concentrate on the Motherwell game, right? So,
to be honest, I've not seen any of the two games.
Have you know? Right. So we've got the Motherwell
game.
All
I'm going to say there was 4 outside goals in the Celtic game.
I can tell you.
Right. It's just strange without the fans, Shaun, eh?
It's murder. I feel sorry for the players, to be honest.
Yeah, Fagan's used to playing in front of these fans, so shut up, Peter.
That's a decent cross, was it? No.
Yeah, Devante Coons came in and done exceptionally well, eh, Shaun? Devante Coons come in and done. He's done a great job.
He's finished it well. He's took it really well.
I mean, obviously, he's came in front of the keeper, blocked his view, and then just put it in. Well, that's pretty quick.
Get closer. But it's good. It's a good ball in for his left. He's weak side. To be fair, you always ask your striker to try to get to the near post. Sammy will tell you yourself. I mean, he's scored with a tap in at the near post. That's the movement. He's striker, get to the near post and you get tap in for fun. Devante Cole's done really well there.
But there he's just ran in front of that striker, the defender. He's ran in between them. He's checked and then come back.
Again. It's great movement. It's striker movement.
Good movement. It's good movement.
But surely the defender that's at number 22 there should have picked him up. No.
To be honest with you, mate, he should have valid side.
22.
Number 22. Right, so he's went there, he's checked, he's came in.
Nah, to be fair, I'd he would be my man. He's took him in, but he's got to open his body up to see where he is, because he took him in the first time. He's taking movement, he's got to move him, he's got to take a step back. If he takes a step back, he's there. He just switched off. The first time switched off.
Do you think he's that Fagan? Do you think he's after you? Just.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think he's good movement. He's come back out here. Let's see again.
Look at it again. Look at. Keep watching it. Look at. I think he's a half yard offside.
Now you've
the first movement is onside. One second movement. Right. Yeah, he's onside there.
Yes, yeah.
Again.
Nah, he's onside. He's onside.
Yeah.
I tell you what,
So that's when the ball's been.
I would say he's okay. Give the benefit to the attacker.
Cammy, in my opinion, he's never offside, but he does look offside.
Right, mate. Hey.
I tell you what I like. That I think he's come in. He took a wee bit of time to settle again, next long. Who's the guy who crosses the ball in? His first stint when he come up to Motherwell, he was phenomenal. It's taken a wee bit of time to settle again, but I can see him starting to get. He's work rate levels and that. I think playing. I'd seen that Tony Watt was the player we came into now. Peter was when I seen that Tony Watt was the playing. He's taking that wee bit of responsibility because he's obviously as the second striker going out, puts a great ball in. But I think the striker movement is quality. But I think you better go into this next game here, Peter, and just get it over and done with.
But do you just going on to the Devante Colo, Shaun? Don't you think what a luxury to having your dad as Andy Cole, somebody to tap into 24/7?
It's great, but he want to be his own player as well. He'll not want to live off his dad's name or his dad's memory. So he's got to be fair, I think it's really hard. And you've got the boys Seed off there as well. You've got boys, and actually some of them playing in the same position. You've got the boy Airdrie. Case you maybe know him, the boy, is it Robert, the boy played with Newcastle's son? He's getting touted at Robert now as well, or he was a couple of weeks ago.
Robert Lee or Robert Soldado?
Aye, something like that. But
aye, that's coming.
They're fathers did. Oh, you're going to be like your dad. I think it's sometimes a hindrance for them. But you're right, it's tap in for a knowledge, a movement, all that kind of stuff.
Well,
you can't play that.
Of course, as you say, the guys want to be his own man and don't want to be in his dad's shadow. But the wealth of knowledge his dad's got, surely you've got to tap into that. And his dad, as you say, be his movement, positioning, taking the ball in, and all that sort of stuff.
It would be silly not to. It would be silly not to ask his dad for a few pointers. But then again, you'll find out that some fellas just say, no, listen, you've got to do it yourself. You've got to make your own mistakes and learn from it. You can't do what they've done, which is maybe 10, 15 years before. Football's changed nowadays. Football's changed since that play.
So let's go into your pick. So the first goal was James Forrest. What's his injury status? Do you know?
Is he not fit?
I don't know, that's what I'm asking. I know he got injured at the weekend, but I don't know if it was just a wee knock or something.
I think it's a wee knock, yeah.
Because they certainly miss him. Look, just that blistering pace.
Do you think he's been a big miss with Celtic this year?
100%. I was just about to say that, Jason. He's been one of... A lot of Celtic fans don't like him and criticise him, get on his case because of whatever reason. So they've got him, but he gives you that out. He gives you the case, you go to burst of pace there. The third man running.
Yeah.
Last season he was player of the year. He was unplayable at times for Scotland and for Celtic. He's been a massive miss for Celtic.
It's a good.
That's great. It's great movement. That's for him.
That's a good ball for Edward, because look where Edward is there. He's well outside the box. Then it just seems.
See that going goal, that going goal. I mean, you just need to applaud that. I mean, because he's received that ball like 35 yards out. And he's just went, yeah, I see an area there. That's you take your hat off to that.
He's anticipated the pass, look.
Well, do you know what? Hey, Peter, the run makes the pass.
Yes.
It's very you go. The run makes the pass, mate. So the pass is easy. The run's harder. He makes a great run, and the guy just finds him. If he don't make that run, that pass is not there. So it's great movement. It's great movement.
Centre-halves can't come there, so that's where he's making his space.
Exactly. Yeah.
He makes his space there. It gives him the chance. And to be fair, Turnbull does really well as well. Turnbull's a great player. Turnbull's a great player. I think he's one of the best players in the Premier League right now.
I think Celtic's season turned when he started to get a game.
Aye, 100%. He should have been in a lot sooner than what he was. Whatever reason that is, why he was in, is Andy's guess. But
I don't know.
For the pass to the Rebel, it's different class. It's a lovely touch. It's a first time pass as well. And Forrest has got in and he's got a good touch and he finishes it well.
As you say,
who scores the second one, Peter? Is it Turnbull scores the second one?
It was Turnbull that scored the second one. So we'll just get this up and out.
What?
Some difference when you get a centre mid. Some difference when you get a centre mid hitting the box all the time and getting goals for you. Turnbull will get 10 to 15 goals a season for Celtic easily.
Yeah. The third man runs he does. Shaun is. I mean, some guys say to me, he's been well coached. I mean, that just comes free within for me. I mean, he sees the space, he attacks it, and he just hopes that the guy who's on the ball sees his run.
That just comes down to hunger for the player, an individual.
Yeah.
He's got to get in the box to get a goal and get the plaudits here. You watch the defender, how easily he is, I think it's number 6, how easily he runs off him, which gives the defenders problems if they're marking the striker.
But look at the space in between the I think that's
2 centre halves.
Aye.
Mate,
look at Edward.
He needs his head looked at, man, going in there, because obviously the midfielder, the pivot midfielder should be sitting on him, but the centre half should not be following him in there.
Do you think the centre back's too close to Edward? Because look, Edward just turns him.
Yeah, well, it's probably maybe half a yard. Aye, you're right, Peter. Aye, but at the same time, the other centre half shouldn't be following the boy into midfield.
But there's Edward here, right? Edward's here, and he's making the defender make a move, because I think he's noticed Turnbull coming in, right? He's looked, he's checked here, but Edward's, he's made the defender said to make a decision. I need to go with Edward.
Carney's 110% right there. The big 6 has realised he ain't catching Turnbull.
Yeah.
And he's looking for an easy option out, and he's trying to pass on to the fullback.
Yeah.
And you'll see it right now.
Yeah.
I think he's too high to start with, and then he can't cover ground. He can't go through the gears there.
See me hold it there. Sure that's the centre half.
Are
you sure that's centre half with Turnbull?
No, I don't think that's the centre half.
If you look back the centre half's going out to the ball. I think that's the centre mid. I think
sorry, you're right, it is the centre mid, Shaun. 6.
He's just lazy and doesn't want to do the work.
Yeah.
Watch it.
He's up there.
Looking near post the kid on his cover. Eddie.
That's what I was going to say. He runs away field. It comes away field. Hoping that the left back is going to tuck in.
Yep.
Even there,
the left back.
The left back there is he needs to go. You've got to follow Turnbull in there.
Yeah.
He's got to see the danger, Crammy.
He's got to see the danger there, mate. Yeah, right there. You would get
he's up there.
Centre half. That's where he needs to go.
What about the third one, Peter? For the third one?
The third one was an own goal. Now, I was just watching Big Ayer coming in here. You think he's going to be away to summer, Shaun?
I think he'll. I think there'll be a fuel leave with Celtic in the summer. A good fuel leave Celtic in the summer.
I mean, Ellen,
how much will that man be, Shaun? Scott Brown?
Oh, he'll be massive. He'll be a massive miss. But to be fair, I have this argument with folk all the time about how his legs are gone and how this is he's no Celtic standard anymore. But see if you've got him against Joe Long, somebody that he wants to get in their minds, either Morelos. I think Brown loses that a wee bit because there's not that many types of players anymore. I'm saying. You've got to be, no, you know what, I'm going to be top dog today. And it was Brown against Juve, going back all the years I've been Juve played. Yep. Getting Jufe's head, and then that made Brownie a better player.
Yep.
He's like, no, I'm open my game, or he's going to.
He thrived on it. He thrived on it.
And nowadays there's no many people in the game that like that wee nasty side of the football, get in people's brains and get in their mind to try to wind them up. But Brownie, he always experience. I'd have loved to see him another year at Celtic and bring it to helping the kids come through.
See, I said to Pizzo last week, I thought he might have stayed on maybe to be a sort of middleman between the new manager and the playing staff to try and help the new manager transition.
You can look at it that way as well, or else you can look at it.
The manager wants to bring his own people in.
What's that?
The manager obviously just wants to bring his own people in.
I think, well, to be fair, unless Scott's been told something different before he made his decision to leave, I think he's got to be looking at it and saying, well, you know what, I don't want to ruin my legacy that I've had at Celtic as player, as captain, as leader, and then go into it. And to be fair, things are not right at Celtic just now, but I think he needs to go away. I wouldn't have liked to see, I don't like to see him in another jersey at the SPL. I would rather him go down in England if he's going to be a player coach somewhere down there, but he's get friends with Stephen Glass. It'll be strange to see him in the Red Aberdeen. But I think for a coach himself, he's got to go and make his own name in the game, coaching wise.
Yeah.
Scott Brown came to England, Faggy, didn't he? Never done nothing.
Who was that?
Yeah.
When was that? During his time at Hibs?
Scott Brown. I'm sure he came down to England and failed Middlesbrough.
He never went to Middlesbrough. He shouted to go there. That's when Stratton and all that had them. And they were taking Stephen Manish down there. Chris Boyd. But Brown always stayed at Celtic. As soon as he left Hibs, he went to Celtic and stayed there.
Aye, that's it. He's been 14 years with Celtic.
Aye.
I thought he left. Came from down south.
You're talking about maybe like Stephen McManus and Chris Boys when all the Scottish boys went down to Middlesbrough.
Thompson.
Tommy went for Rangers to Middlesbrough was focused on
Aye.
And he came back to Hibs.
So the fourth goal for Celtic was a guy that seems to be on fire, is Elyounoussi. What do you think of him, Shaun?
I like him a lot. I think he's one of these. It's dying trade. The wingers that actually go commit players. Nowadays it's all about passing and moving the ball, pass. He's one of these guys that are running behind, on the ball, dribble, take three players on.
That's a great finish, by the way. That's a great finish.
Great finish.
Right, so, sorry. Right, so, nobody's picking him up. None of the Livingston midfielders just running away. Everybody just seems to be running by him in the free space. Now, why would a player not pick him up when he's emphatic like him?
He runs in, he plays in the pocket there. He's there. He's playing in the pocket between the centre half and the fullback. And he stands for a couple of seconds. Midfielders get attracted to the ball, and he's in that area now. He's got the big area. Sometimes players need to realise that no, you don't need to always run into the ball. You can stand and let the play develop, and then the ball will come to you as it does in this one.
But these players are running to the ball rather than saying.
I'm looking at that there, Shaun, there, right there. And I always say to our boys, listen, you've got your right full back there just inside the box, and you've got your right midfielder just in front of him. I would always say, who's your potential threats in there? Now, that midfielder there could be saying the guy at the referee could bust a gut to go in between centre back and the full back, but could the guy at the left hand side be a threat? So for me, I'm looking. I don't know what run he does, but I would be looking for him to make that run just between the centre back and the full back to try and eliminate the two. That's a difficult one. The only one for me you could probably say is like centre back. You might need to deal with a stud man run here.
Maybe be a wee bit closer to Elyounoussi, because see the Celtic player that's near the referee. Maybe that Livingston player is watching him.
Peter. Keep it there. Freeze it there, right? Go back. Right. Look how many Celtic players there is. Look how many Livy players there is.
Yes, great point. Great
9
point.
against 4. 1, 2, 9 against 5. It's shocking defending. That's what that is.
Yeah. Ball watching.
9 against 5.
Ball watching.
Very
embarrassing. That's what that is.
You can't take that away from the
No, I'm not saying you can't take away from the goal, but 9 against 5 there on the edge of the box. He shouldn't get room to strike that for there.
No, what I think is throwing the span on the works so is McGregor's run. There, McGregor, he's running towards the ref and right? There
that's the one we were talking about there, Peter.
Aye.
He's doing a decoy run. He sets it. He really sets it. He asks a question, but Cranny's right. When you've got, what was it, 8 against 5, 9 against 5?
9 against 5.
Martin Dale will be like, what the hell do you think the guys were just switched off or ball watching, and nobody's taking control of a situation where it could have been avoided.
Yeah, definitely. So this is their 5th goal, Elyounoussi again. I mean, that's Ayer coming up for centre back. That's him right in it, 35 yards out. What the hell's he doing up there?
Again, that's a poor goal to lose. It's a poor goal to lose. You're right, your centre back's thrown through. The big guy is a quality player, but somebody just needs to take a hit there.
They have an assist.
He won't score a reason to do this here.
I mean, it's a cracking goal. He took it well.
He's received the ball.
He just walks
at least. I just walked through. Right? He's taking it at him.
And all of a sudden, it's 4 against 4.
Nah, he won't score an easy goal this year, Crammy. What do you think?
Aye, definitely, mate. The midfield just let him go there for me.
See if you play it again. Look at number 10. Look at number 10. The striker tries to go with Ayer, and he makes a tackle. He goes on the ground to make a tackle. But watch number 10, middle of the park. A midfielder behind the ball now. 10's here beside the referee.
Yeah, Jiggy. Spot on. Jiggy just leaves him, doesn't he? He passes him on, doesn't he?
He's not interested.
That's not the danger. The danger's
Yeah. Number 10 just went into that space there where he was running into. That's all you did. 2 yards to the right.
See, if you're a centre back, right? For me, going back to when we were kids, Crammy, right? The way the big guy, the way he comes out there, I'm looking at that and I'm saying that is going to get you into the Panini books, innit? You can just go out it, right? So again, Peter in his wisdom has mucked the whole thing up here, right? So I'll have to do it through my phone here, right? So Peter,
I'll take a hit.
I'll be talking to Big Chalky in the morning to get you the billet, by the way. Bring these young YTS guys in, right? So, we started looking at stuff like this here, right? So the old Panini, the Panini, see that, Sean?
I see it, aye.
Right. So when I was growing up, I mean, you've got guys like him, Baggio, what a player he was, man, right?
Brilliant.
And then you've got guys like him, the Golden Boys, Big Bexy, right?
Brilliant.
And then ZZ, right?
Oh, you couldn't wait to swap them at school.
Right, 100%. That was your highlight. You were going into, you couldn't wait to get to school. You're the doubler, right? But then you get these clowns, like this here, right? Like you get this guy here, who has to sign it to try and make him feel important, right? Hey, Sean.
Motherwell equivalent to that gold one, mind the shiny cards.
Right. You've got Alan Ferguson. Right? You've got Alan Ferguson, right?
Gotti's saying he looks like Fergie.
Yeah. Hey. But the best one who still holds his market value. What's his market value at £1, Sean, for the sticker and 98 pence for postage? Beat that one, son, eh?
Hey, Figgy, beat that, son.
There it is.
What a slick here that is.
I tell you what, though, Alan Ferguson does look good, though, doesn't he?
He's looking well for his age.
Oh, man, eh? I never knew he could talk German.
Yeah. Fergie used to highlight his hair blonde and paint his teeth black.
I just, I'm obviously talk about, because we've been going on a wee bit here. Motherwell, right, Sean, and I know that you being obviously a Celtic man, right? Helicopter Sunday, right? Now, as a player, now you're doing all this soapy bubble thing, right? Right? I looked at 3 pictures that day, right? And as I said, I had all this done. Peter, again, Peter, you're getting sacked, by the way, right? I look at this one here, right? I look at that one there, wee Scott McDonald.
Wee Super Scott.
Right?
Right.
I look at that one there, right? And that's always highlights in me, Sean, right? You, right? So that one there was against Celtic, obviously. Your first goal was against Celtic, right? Right? Did that really break your heart, Sean, scoring 8 goals against your team?
To be fair, my goal didn't break my heart, but it broke my family's heart. My family never spoke to me.
Because I'm going to tell you something, I always thought you tried to redeem yourself, right? And I know the next game you get sent off and that, right? But I don't look at that, right? I look at that and I'm going, oh my God, you're embarrassing. Give him a kick when he's on the ground. Give him a kick.
That was after the game, Jason. That was after the game. All you heard, I thought I'm going to talk, right? And I'm a money bastard, right? But see him, he's horrendous. Absolutely.
Did you see that one, Carney?
Who is this line there?
Craig
Bellamy.
Craig Bellamy. Oh, God, man.
Craig Bellend.
Aye, I've had a few run-ins with him, mate, through the career. Mate, he's some player, though. Some player.
Oh,
fantastic striker.
Then I think, Sean, she playing against him. Do you think he really... I know, Peter, you can maybe relate to us a wee bit when he went and played that, because I was at the Old Firm game. I got a corporate invite to him.
Hold on a minute.
What end?
You get a ticket to the Old Firm game and you're an Old fan.
Yeah, listen, I was... here we go again, right? I was here entertaining, right? And I heard, because Graham Souness name get mentioned a hell of a lot that day, right? And obviously Souness was at Newcastle, and they obviously loaned him out to Saudi. Do you think he really bought into it when he go here for coming to Newcastle to Celtic? Do you think he actually bought into what the club was all about, what it meant to him, especially that day in particular?
Aye, I did, because you've also got to remember the experienced players he had running about him. None of them would let him away with murder. You couldn't get away with murder. You had your Suttons, your Hartsons, your Larsons, everyone running about him that day. And honestly, somebody, like, for people to come and even think that it didn't mean nothing to him, you have to be on that park to realise what a pain in the arse he was. He's even shouting at you saying, why you even trying? You've got nothing to try for. And then it was just pain in the arse, comment after comment to try to put you off your game. And if he switched off, that was him in.
Yeah.
About Bruni before. If it's in your head and gets to you and puts you off your game, he's 1-0 up already. And Bellamy was the exact same. And to be fair, he tried everything that day to make sure he had about 26 shots at goal or something like that. Actually on target.
What about Terry Butcher after the game then? How is he?
I'll tell you a story in the lead up to that, right? That was obviously the final game of the season. But we put obviously the top six. The week before we played Rangers, Ibrox was battered 4-0. Absolutely battered 4-0. And Big Butcher's having a go at everybody. Boys are getting stripped off, Ferguson and the lights, and he's flipping out with that. And we're thinking, hold on a minute, we've got to the top six, we've reached our target. This is what you've asked for. It's got a couple of lucky goals with Scotty. I think Jerry Britton should have get past it at one point and he got the deflection, but we done nothing that full week, and it just goes to show you can prep, you can do everything you want in training and get the boys ready, but sometimes back for it and then just say, you know what, have a bit of rest, have a bit of fun, enjoy yourselves, and then it'll come from the Sunday. No pressure on us, all the pressure's in Celtic.
Did you wait for the helicopter?
Did I fuck?
I thought there was a picture of you going, hey! You're just taking it off, no?
I think on that note, we'll wrap it up. Shaun, it's been a laugh. It's been a pleasure getting to hear your stories. Some cracking stories there, obviously. Your Motherwell days, having a laugh with these two nuggets. Thanks once again, gents. To everybody out there, thanks very much for joining us.
Well done, Shaun. Thanks for coming on, Paul. Appreciate that, man.
Top man, son. Fagan, I'm up for a couple of weeks. I'll come and see you, all right?
Remember, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And once again, Shaun, thanks very much. It's been a pleasure, mate.
Cheers, guys. Thanks very much.
Cheers, thanks.
See you later, boys.
Good lad.